So that's me. There it is. Okay, guys. Hey, how's it going out there, folks? Happy summer to you. It's Tuesday, July 11th, 7-Eleven day in 2017. Did you guys go out and get your free Slurpees? I hope you did and stuff like that. Anyway, welcome to Convention Attention. You know me, Brian Spinski, your Lost Silver Productions. And why are you smacking yourself in the head, Scott? What's going on?
Because I forgot it was Free Slurpee Day.
Oh, dude, how'd you forget, man? How did you miss that one?
Overnight.
Huh?
I worked overnight, and then I came home and went to and conked out.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, worry not because everything's going the way it's supposed to. Hey, listen. They you get eventually at some point you get the everything works out the way that it's supposed to. So don't sweat it.
Well,
So,
I complained about the service at one of the 7-Elevens, and they sent me some free coupons.
yeah, well they got deals going and then some. So should be all
Well,
good.
it was basically they advertised an item, they didn't have it. The store manager at the time told me to go to another store, and I said, "You want me to walk all the way to another store?" And she told me to get the f out. So
There ain't nothing wrong with getting some exercise. Don't
I came home from work. It was 8 o'clock in the morning.
I got you. Okay. Anyway, all right. Let's we banter about the oddest things here, folks. If you haven't learned that by now, as we've been doing this for a year, whatever. All right. So, okay. So right now, just me and Scott. There's Chuck. Okay, we finally got you. We finally got you in there, man. Good to see you.
Sorry, I'm late, guys.
Relax. You're fine. Now,
Not late, you're fashionably.
we were just
You're not late, you're fashionably late.
we were just mentioning real quick, Chuck, about free Slurpee Day or whatever. Just the, you ever, what's your go-to Slurpee flavor?
Coca-Cola. We don't have any of those here in Texas. We don't have any 7-Elevens here in Texas.
What? Since when?
Yeah. I don't know. We haven't had any here.
7-Eleven's got like a bajillion stores all over the place, and they can't afford to have one down there in Texas. What that makes me.
I think that's where the corporate is. The corporate headquarters is in Texas.
Anyway, I'll be right back. I need to check my mail.
Check that one. That seems odd. Okay, well, anyway,
I'll throw in my $2 on that.
what? Okay, all right. Okay, let's cut the banter. Let's get right into our Smash or Trash segment. Let's get into the business of that. And along the way, as we're making our discussion up, Paul Williams is also with us tonight. There you can see his box down there. He's in the middle of taking care of a little bit of side business. He'll be joining us shortly and stuff. We may have a couple more visitors as well. Please feel free. We'll be looking at the chat room, the chat on the side here as we are going on here. And just if you got anything to say about anything we're talking about tonight, just throw it over there. We'll take a look. All right. We'll start with item number one, probably the biggest item of the news week here, and that is the idea that we are going to have this Saturday in Japan a brand new Pokemon movie that's going to be debuting in the theaters. They were previewed at the Japan Expo last weekend and everything, and a lot of people are up in arms over it because this movie is basically revisiting and in a sense rewriting the Kanto arc of the original anime. Ash will be in it, but Misty and Brock will not. We've got a couple new characters that are going to be in there instead, but several things are going to be retold from how they went in those original anime days, and like I said, it's got a lot of people in high complaint there. While I dig up I take a picture there, Scott. You offered your thoughts with regards to Smash or Trash that they've revived, that they're revising the history here. Please elaborate while I dig up the shots.
That's like pulling what would it be? That's rewriting history. Doesn't sit well with me. That's like also rewriting the games probably too.
I would have to agree with you on that, Scotty.
Well, remember that the anime never had anything much to do with the games. That was never that in itself was never a problem.
So that means we'll never get to answer that big question of why Brock left Professor Ivy.
Oh, Lord, help me.
I hear you over there, Chuck. Why are you groaning?
I don't think Brock should have left the show. He was an asset towards the series.
Well, a lot of people are upset enough over the general idea that either one of them is gone, Brock or Misty, whatever the case is. But in a case there, and let me see if I can.
So I call that a fail.
If I get
both of them are gone.
there.
So both of them are gone. I call that an epic fail. I'm sorry.
Well, I'll see if I can get the screen share going here and stuff like that.
If I had my sound files, currently my phone's charging right now.
Gotcha. Okay. Well. Anyway, here's the deal. There, you can see here now. This is one of the two new characters that are going to appear in the new film. Soji. You can see primarily he has Lucario joining him, and then the girl that's going to be traveling, there and has a Piplup. That's Makoto, as it says there. Yeah, what's interesting, you notice, is that the two characters that are going to be traveling along with Ash in this story, guys, you notice that they don't have Kanto Pokemon. So you have to also consider this. It's not also just a retelling of like just rewriting the anime totally, but it's also putting it in a time perspective in that they're imagining it as if what if Ash were to have started his journey now instead of years ago when it was just the competition and so you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That makes sense to you guys?
Pretty much.
Yeah. So that's the basic idea there, and that does bring up a good question. There, Scott. I'll ask you first. Then, taking that into consideration, do you think that if in fact Ash were to have started his journey with all the generations that exist now, existing then, do you think that the rest of the story would have played out the same way, or does the fact that rewriting who he travels with make sense? What do you
It
think?
makes no sense, and it just makes things more confusing.
In what way?
I don't know. More confusing than trying to figure out the whole Kingdom Hearts timeline. I'll just say that.
Same thing with the Legend of Zelda franchise.
Yes, touche.
Well, no, Zelda, we have an official timeline for. Kingdom Hearts, we don't. We could spend an episode here on Convention Attention figuring out the Kingdom Hearts timeline.
Yeah, one of my friends, Belle Starinchak, aka Pika Belchu, she's a major Pokemon fan.
I used to be.
She still is. And she was even pissed off by what happened.
Crazy enough in its own right there. And all right, and let's see. And while we were just talking about that, Paul, I think are you back in there with us?
Yeah, I'm back in here.
Yeah, good to have you back. I know it's been a while since you've had a chance to be on the show. It's good to see you jump in again.
Right.
Yeah, I know you usually you're watching your little cousins on Friday.
Yeah, I got like a little schedule change, so that won't be happening for like another hour or so. In which case, I'll leave at like about 9:15. But yeah, it's a little like shaky now.
Well, either way, we're glad to have you here, and if it's on a different night. While we got this topic in front of us here, what are your thoughts in general about Pokemon rewriting history?
I don't know if I agree with it. Ash and Ash and Misty and Brock were like the first three. I don't know. I don't know what the purpose of this movie is now. It's like we already have an established canon. We already established, the first season more or less. So I don't know what's the purpose of this that's going on.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe we'll have
that's a lot of people are trying to figure out for sure. Go ahead, Scott.
maybe we'll have Oregon in this.
Yeah, maybe.
See, the thing that's odd about it though is, like I said, the Pokemon that's the main focus of this new movie is Ho-Oh. That's the one that this is generally revolving around, because that's the one key element they're especially changing right at the beginning is that he does see Ho-Oh on the morning after on his first day or whatever, but unlike what happens in the anime, Ho-Oh drops a rainbow feather and Ash has it, so he's using that as his key to try to go after Ho-Oh. So that's the big principle here. So I don't necessarily know how much of everything else that they're going to be retelling. I know from what has been shown in the previews, there's cameos of a couple of the gym leaders, Erica in particular. Aside from that, it's not really clear like how much of the entire Kanto journey they're going to try to retell. So who's to say what else?
I will say though about this change is that a certain group of fans have already commented like they didn't really see the point of Misty joining up with Ash, especially Ash having wrecked the bike, not going to pay back the bike. So it's like, why are you going to chase? Why are you walking around with them? And with Brock, it's like it makes no sense for a gym leader to leave their post for the reason that Brock gave. It's like, no, it's.
Well,
Time out.
Brock left and he let his father take over the gym.
Right.
Because Brock went to become a breeder.
Time out. Saying this whole movie's gonna be rewritten.
This whole movie's
It's like
rewriting
the dang Mario Brothers.
Well, yeah, that's
It's like the freaking Mario Brothers movie again.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily, because the Mario Bros. Movie wasn't trying to change anything. Like I keep telling people, it was just an adaptation of one of the original video. Well, not original, but one of the first video games. So it's not like Mario Brothers with Leguizamo and so on was trying to do anything other than here's the story of Super Mario Brothers in live action form. This movie, however, is pretty much trying to say what you saw in the first series does not count.
The Mandela effect. I'm chalking it up to that.
the what?
The Mandela effect.
What is the Mandela effect? I've never heard of this.
I'm not gonna waste an episode talking about it. I'll
write it on the side here, and I'll.
I will mention this, viewers. If you get a chance, James Rolfe over on Cinemassacre did a 2-part video about the whole Mandela effect. Gotta go look it up. Go watch James Rolfe's video on it.
Okay.
And everything.
All right.
In other words, more things change, and in other words, more things change, more they stay the same.
Yeah, although this is definitely a change, and some people are wondering if that's for the better. So anyway, there. Okay, all right. Item number 2 then. Staying in the topic of Pokemon a little bit, and Scott, you were throwing this to me just before we started the podcast here, and I'm actually gonna get the article up or whatever.
I have it right here.
Yeah, this past week, Pokemon Go celebrated its first anniversary, and they've got a lot of big things going on with it. But on the more serious side with regards to it, here, Scott, you could read the information about Russian court reduces sentence in Pokemon Go case. Here, you explain the details.
Hold up.
I'm bad at pronouncing names, so I'm not. I'll put the link in there.
Well, about
Yeah,
saying,
it's basically about his prison sentence for posting a video of himself playing Pokemon Go in a church.
oh,
He,
geez.
he previously received a 3.5 year suspended sentence after being found guilty of incited hatred and offended believers' feelings, but the sentence has been cut to 2 years and 3 months. The court reduced sentence after annulling his current convictions of illegal trafficking of a special technician equipment. A pen with a built-in camera was discovered at his home.
Okay, all right. This okay.
This is Russia, isn't it?
Russia.
Yeah, this is Russia. Exactly. And I'm sorry, this makes no sense whatsoever. You're playing. I mean, okay, bad enough you're playing in a church. I don't care what religion you are. Okay, and the idea that you're playing this game in a place of worship and knowing that there are enough religions out there that think that that this game and all of the Pokemon that exists ever since the beginning. I mean, how many times have you guys heard? And I even mentioned this last year on one of our abridged news bites. The general idea that there are a lot of churches from the beginning that all these different
Pokemon is the
they're
devil.
reincarnations of the devil and all this stuff.
Yeah, I've heard so many YouTube pastors, commenters, parents. I'm talking like strictly religious parents talk about how Pokemon is the devil, and I can only imagine Pokemon Go exacerbated all that.
Well, also they said the same thing about Harry Potter too.
That's the uncalled magic. That's always going to elicit that kind of result.
My wife loves Harry Potter.
No, but we're saying in the same content. On the flip side of that, a lot of pastors and everything called Harry Potter the devil too.
Weren't they saying the same thing about other British sci-fi shows like Doctor Who? Did they say anything about that yet?
Not yet. That's more like sci-fi science fiction, and time traveling and all that stuff. The only real people who I would say would have a complaint about that is those that have a complaint about like Back to the Future. That's generally it.
Oh,
Future.
No, I say Back to the Future in regards to these are people that might have a problem with. Excuse me. That might have a problem with like Doctor Who. Like if like the only group that I might see anything happening with regards to Doctor Who is like
Scientology.
Yes, Scientology. Yes. Even
And
they'll
same
probably like
thing
try
about-
to use that as part of their religion. Like it's really hard to say.
Yeah, I found out the purple bag was already
and same thing
empty.
with people believe in the whole New Age movement too.
Right.
Gotcha. But it's just the whole thing just seems very, like I said, it seems like they're reaching quite a bit for this, for this one. This makes no sense to me just read the charge again. Exactly, Scott. They said they arrested him for what was the exact thing?
Illegal trafficking of a special technical equipment.
But wait, there was something else too. Something about inciting hatred.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Suspended sentence. Yeah,
So,
inciting hatred and of offending believers' feelings.
Offending.
So you have to remember, Russia's not the same as the United States. So
well,
we're pretty loose. We're pretty loose when it comes down to this stuff. Russia seems to pretty much kowtow the line of if you're not strictly following the laws of the rule of the Bible, then you don't deserve to live in Russia. You don't deserve to live. In other words.
Hey, believe me, depending on which side of the political coin you're on here, there's some people that feel the same way.
Right.
And knowing enough of the whole supposed Trump-Russia connection. Well, again, that's another issue for another time, whether you believe that or not. Okay, so I'm just putting it out there in the open because I know there are people that are probably thinking that right now. So make of it what you will, folks. I'm on the fence. I'm independent. So I'm just telling you that in general. But overall, the whole charge in general, does anybody give this an honest the charge that he got? Again, I know we're talking as Americans. Is anybody giving this any serious kind of smash at all?
No, and
Thumbs down, thumbs down. Do we hear
Thumbs
three?
down.
Yeah,
No.
I think, yeah.
No.
Like I said, the only part of this I will give, the charge itself, yes, complete thumbs down. The only thing I will say, he deserved to get in trouble for playing in the church, because that he shouldn't be doing anyway. But the charge itself, completely ludicrous. So the fact that it's being suspended in some way, hey, if you want to say justice prevails, why not? So who
could have
knows?
been worse. They could have sent him to a prison camp in Siberia.
That's probably what
allow me
suspended
to-
sentence would have sent them to.
Yeah.
Allow me to put in a little SFX from just myself.
No.
Boom, boom, boom.
No.
Fail.
No, you stop that now. Okay, all right. Okay. Item number 3 for our Smash or Trash tonight. And switching gears to another popular anime, going to Sailor Moon very briefly. They just announced this past week that they are going to be having their 4th season of Sailor Moon Crystal has been officially announced, and work on it is going to be starting very soon. However, there's going to be a key difference, though. Rather, this time than being in an episodic format, as the previous 3 seasons that most anime are, this 4th season is now going to come in the role of 2 feature-length films. Exactly.
OVAs, right? OVAs,
They're
right?
going to space them out, or if they're going to put them in the theaters together, back to back, or who knows, or whatever. No official release date has been set. They have to start working on it in general, so they obviously can't do that. But the idea that doing it as 2 films instead of 13 episodes or whatever length they originally planned. Some speculation as to doing that. Scott, smash and trash the idea of doing the double film instead of a normal.
Probably, I would say probably the budget got caught for the TV show, or either the network that aired it over in Japan doesn't want to air it anymore, and that's why they're doing it like this.
I don't think it's as simple
I'm
as
in the
a
middle.
budget.
But I'm in the middle on it.
All right, what say you, Paul?
I don't think it's a simple matter of a budget, because it would cost more to produce these things as one giant length film. So this might just generally be them thinking that they're going to get a bigger audience with the movies. I don't know how to generally gauge it, but it seems as though this is just an idea to go ahead and get promotion going, and they figure it might just be better just to fully through the entire story rather than stop and do any of the other stuff, like the whole sound thing and everything. Like the
Can we kill the? Paul, hold on a second. Can we kill the background noise, please?
Sorry.
That's probably you.
Yeah, I gotta go on I gotta turn on my phone. Hang on.
While he's doing that here, and I'll mute him 1 second just to get back in. Here, I'll chime in for a second while he's fixing that or whatever. Now, the thing that I think is probably the big concern with a lot of people, because I don't necessarily say it's a good thing or a bad thing. The big concern I would think that exists there, and based on what the opinions I've been reading early so far, is that the idea that, okay, even if these 2 films, let's say they're both 90 minutes long, okay, now you figure most anime, the episodes run somewhere in the length of 22 to 24 minutes. Okay, so you figure you could probably get a movie would probably fit 4 episodes worth or whatever. The problem then is that that's cutting down the time frame for what you could normally do in a 13 episode. I mean, maybe there's some filler that gets cut out, but the thing is, then you also run the risk of there being less time total to tell the next arc of the manga within this setup. And that's the thing that some people are wondering, that trying to cram the entire arc into that smaller pack means that key details are going to be missing. And knowing that, especially with all the complications that Crystal has already had in its previous seasons, it feels like it's just finally getting its stride after its early stumbles, and that this could derail the whole thing again and not tell the story properly like they wanted to.
I'll be back in a minute.
Does that make sense, guys?
All right. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
So I mean, you hope that this is not something that is is gonna cause that big of an issue within the anime, and then just as with the franchise as a whole, because it definitely does not need it. So in general, you said, Scott, you were staying in the middle of this one. You were kind of pushing on this.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Paul, in general, then, are you smashing or trashing this?
I'll smash it. Granted, most anime seasons are 13 episodes long, and the fact that, as you said, this would be pretty much the equivalent of 4 episodes for each of these 2 movies, so a total of 8 episodes. This pretty much means that they just removed 5 episodes, and I'm assuming that there's going to probably be some kind of time skip in the story. I haven't been keeping up with Sailor Moon Crystal for that long, so I only know that season 1 and 2 talked about the whole time gate as the start of the Dark Lady saga was that, and that got resolved almost instantaneously. So that means the only stuff that they have to do now is the outer scouts, including Pluto, Neptune, Uranus, and Saturn, and then the whole Sailor Galaxia arc. That's the only 2 things I can do. And for those that aren't familiar with it,
3 was the Death Busters arc.
What was that?
3, the 3rd season was the Death Busters arc of the manga. I forget what the 4th arc of the manga is supposed to be. This is supposed to cover. I can't remember it by name.
Would that be the one with the circus with the Pegasus?
That's 3.
That's 3, I think. Yeah. Because
that was Super S in the original show.
Okay, but also keep in mind, though, guys. Remember, this is more closely following how the order of the manga went. The original anime strayed from it in several respects. This is keeping more close and contained to it. So you gotta have that understanding coming in. So that's the only reason I'm asking about this stuff for him. So don't think back to the old show. Fly here. So that's the deal there. So okay, all right. Final item for Smash or Trash, and this was something I ran into over the 4th of July holiday.
Oh, Brian, hold on. We forgot one thing.
Okay, well here I gotta take a picture. While I do that, get your item in.
Yeah. So in the New York Post today, they did.
Oh yes, right. Yes, thank you. Thank you for mine. Yes, show this off. Check this out, guys. So all of you guys who are not in the New York area, look at that. In the New York Post today, a 2-page article celebrating
in the sports section.
Yeah, in
30 years.
Yes. Take a look at that.
So
Mike Tyson's Punch Out gets the
30 years.
Huh?
30 years of Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
And like they said, they still consider it the best best boxing game of all time, and rightfully so.
And if I may read a quote from it.
Sure.
I'll read it from the end here. So, yeah. Talks about the guy that did this kicks.
Wait, did we lose Scott there?
There he is.
No, I'm still here. In some Nintendo versions, now this may not be known to a lot of people. In like the re-releases of Mike Tyson's Punch Out, it was that the contract ran out, so they couldn't use Tyson anymore. So they had another fighter in there at the end called Mr. Dream. And everything.
Yeah, I think also in combination with the contracts running out, I think there was also the concern that also around the same time that flip happened was also when Tyson first got in trouble after he lost the title.
Yeah, it was like right after he lost the title too, because they mentioned that. Now,
yeah,
Perfect Run.
That always seemed very suspect to me, but that's just the way that's just the way I.
And to quote
stuff like that, but no.
And to quote from Yankees pitcher CC Sebastian here, he was also Mike Tyson, according to from Yankees pitcher CC Sebastian. He was also so iconic at the time, and he still is. And this is talking about Mike Tyson.
Of course, naturally there. All right, okay. So that's cool. That's cool that a major newspaper decides to devote that time there. And
you even had a small little cameo there of Mario in the thing.
Yeah,
you had a small, and you even had you even had Mario cameo in that game as the referee.
Right, exactly there. So, all right. So anyway, all right. Last item here, I'm going to give the whole woo effect there. Okay, last item. I got to share this because this was absolutely hilarious. I loved this. However, okay, obviously you guys all know who these are. This is of course the Justice League as they're going to appear in the next film. So you got Wonder Woman, you got Cyborg, you got Batman, Aquaman, the Flash, or whatever. Well, a couple of people over at the website HalloweenCostumes.com, they've decided to take this image and do a little bit of a crossover with it. Okay, and I just cracked up about this. They crossed this up with a movie that was that came out 25 years ago. They came out in the summer of '92, and it was a big smash then, and everything was all good about it here. I present to you, if it will let me. Actually, hold on. I think I have to get out of this one sec. So please bear with the what do you call it? Try this. If it'll show up. Take a look at this. A Justice League of their own.
That's a good Wheel of Fortune puzzle.
No, not quite. No. That wouldn't fit the before after. No, it wouldn't. Because remember, the movie is called
Justice League.
Their Own. It's not a Justice League. You know?
Well, if you drop the A, it would actually make a good Wheel of Fortune.
No, it won't work. It won't work. League of Their Own is not the name of the movie. The movie is A League of Their Own. So no, it doesn't. You can't disperse the words. But you have the four of the main characters, from the film in all as the different what do you call it? Different Justice League characters. So you got Gina Davis's Dai Hinson as Wonder Woman. You've got Rosie O'Donnell's I can't remember her name.
Gina Davis?
No. Rosie O'Donnell's character. Doris. That's her. She's in the Batman role. Kit Kepler in the Aquawoman role, and Madonna's all the way May as the Flash. Now, the only one you won't recognize is the one in between Gina and Rosie there, the one in the cyborg position. Her name is Mamie Johnson, at least if I remember correctly. I have to check that, confirm that. Now the thing is, if you remember correctly, there was no black player on the Peaches in the League of Their Own movie. The thing is, that woman there, she was an actual player back in the real days or whatever. She actually pitched against men for a team called the Indianapolis Clowns. She did that because, and she actually did legitimately try out for the All-American, Girls League, but was not allowed to participate, because of the fact that she was, that she was black. At least if my memory serves me, that's the reason.
That was probably before Jackie Robinson.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, she was in a sense, she was, another Jackie Robinson of her time. It's widely believed that she is the inspiration for that scene in the movie. You remember when they're doing like they're kind of like fast forwarding through the season, and at one point there was a foul ball, and there's a group of black women on the side of the field, and the one picks it up and throws it over Dottie's head to the pitcher. You guys remember that scene?
No.
I think so.
Yeah, it's widely believed that she is the inspiration for Mamie Johnson. Yeah, attempted to try out for the All-American Girls League, but was shut down because of her race. She was a pitcher against men for the Indianapolis Clowns. That's the story. So I don't know. I just cracked up when I saw this picture. And Gerald, what do you guys think of it?
Fan fiction, anybody?
Seems ripe for it, But Paul, how about you?
It kind of sort of screams fan fiction a bit, but it's not something that we haven't already seen already.
Well, I'll tell you this: the challenge that I throw out there now is this is the kind of thing that I want to see some group of people on the convention scene do cosplays for. If you guys remember, there was a news bite that I did as I cut this out. There was a news bite I did back in September where I showed there's a group of cosplayer girls out in California, or not California, Colorado area that mixed together, that had the Sailor Scouts as Pokemon Go trainers. And I've befriended a couple of them since or whatever, and because it was an absolutely awesome pick. If you guys out there haven't seen it, look up the convention attention abridged entitled Crossover Fest, and you'll see the it was should be dated September of last year, mid-September, and you'll see the picture that I'm talking about and stuff like that. So I want to see a group of 5 girls do this now in the spirit of that. And like I said, it's 25th anniversary of the movie, so why not?
Right.
And there's no crying in baseball.
And there's no crying in saving the world either. So think of it from that perspective. All right, so here we're gonna take a quick 5 or 6 second, just pause 1 second, just gonna get a sip of water off screen, and then we'll get to our main topic about Con Survival 101. So hang out there, folks. We'll be with you in just a moment. All right, I'm gonna get a drink.
All right, dudes, I'm back. Is this better now?
Yeah, definitely better.
Yep. And we'll pause for station identification.
Well, I'm not even off the computer.
This is why we got to get off of YouTube, because if I could just stream this directly from my computer instead, but there's no real way to do it.
Gotcha.
Brian, guys, I apologize.
That's fine.
I really do apologize. I even apologize to our silent director. I do apologize wholeheartedly.
No, don't worry about it. You're fine. You're fine. We're all set. Everything's good. Okay. So let's see. Okay. Yeah, I'm just confirming to Andrea downstairs because I had her shoot at my phone plug here because I'm down to 9%. I've got to send some messages while we're doing this, but no, we're all good. Okay. So let's get into our main discussion tonight, because obviously now we are in the midst of the biggest portion of the convention year for a lot of us, especially around here on the, actually a good number of them on the East Coast, but obviously you got Anime Expo, which was which was 4th of July weekend over in LA. So I mean, it's like the biggest and hottest conventions. Then you got San Diego coming up in a couple of weeks. So obviously, this is the time of year when, if anybody's really talking about cons, we're really in the flush, now. I mean, we have a lot of small cons around here in the New York, New Jersey area that just finished in the spring, starting with Icon at Castle Point in March, and then all the way up to Anime Next, last month. But this is where everybody really starts paying attention because, like I said, you've got Anime Expo at San Diego Comic-Con, California. You got Otakon coming up in DC next month. Liberty City in New York City for us. Then, of course, New York Comic-Con in October, and even for us now here, we're going to be further extended because in November the return of your Anime NYC and stuff. So in trying to look for a topic for this week, and I gotta admit, we were a little stuck on what to do here. So, and I want to give a shout out to a new friend out there in our circles, and now hopefully a future loyal viewer of the show, Adam Wright. I thank you for offering this suggestion because
That name's not familiar. I might know him.
Well, he's the one that impartially suggested this topic. He was saying we should discuss some things in relations to just some things that people should tips that people should follow for certain elements of going to convention. He talked about like cosplay and some things, and we kind of spun it into the idea of just talking about what to do and not to do at conventions as a whole here. And so I want to just get some general ideas from each of you as we go through here. And here, Paul, I'll start with you because I think out of all of us here, especially as being a staff member, you've seen things on both sides of the coin, both as an attendee and as a person working the conventions here. For you in general, what's just start off in general, what's one of your key rules you try to make sure that as you go to a convention, regardless of for what purpose, that you try to make sure that you follow for yourself so that you make sure that it's a good weekend and that you get everything out of the con that you're supposed to without any disasters or nightmares or whatever. We're going to share some of those stories.
Avoiding drama is one key thing. I understand that people have different ideas and whatnot about what they're going to be actually doing at the conventions and everything like that, and they just need to keep in mind that they're about to meet a bunch of different people that may like
small walks of life.
Yeah, from all walks of life that may like things that you don't necessarily like about a show, or the eventual sub versus dub argument that always occurs in every freaking convention ever.
Paul, let me interrupt. That would be forever the eternal debate.
Yep, and there's never a right answer to either one because
cosplay is not consent either.
Yeah, that's always going to be a problem. It's like just because somebody's in a costume, don't think that you can just do whatever. Like, come on.
Well,
but you got.
I will say something on the whole sub versus dub. If you like the voice cast for the English, watch the English. If you like the voice cast for the Japanese, watch the subtitled one.
Yep, the subbed one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right there. And going along those lines, I've been talking to a couple of people outside of this immediate block of the four of us here, and another member of our team who she was hoping to be here tonight, but some things came up, she couldn't make it. Maureen Liddell, we miss you out there, Maureen, and hope you can join us soon and have the world meet you. I was asking her to pass along some stuff for tonight and things like that. And one of the first things that she said, mirrors what you guys were all just saying. Yeah, to make sure, first things first, respect people. Like I said, cosplay is equality and not consent. Like I said, treat everybody as you would, just or not. My words are getting away from me here.
Treat people the way they want to be treated.
You're all fans. That's all. That's what the purpose everybody's there for. No fan is bigger fan than the next person. Whether it's not a contest to see, like who's really, like the supreme otaku here and all that stuff. Where that's not.
We're all.
It's all
about having fun. Sorry, baby. Sorry, baby.
So that's the nature of that business there. So you always want to try
Sorry, baby. I didn't mean to
make sure of that.
So
That could be its own competition show in itself.
Yeah, but
and we're all about having fun. Remember, cosplay is not consent.
Yeah, and I know we've got a question even on that subject, like within our Card Shark surveys. By the way, take them out there, folks, if you haven't already. If you're new to the show, find the link on our trailer video after the show is done.
We'll post the link down in the video description afterwards.
All right, good call. But anyway, one of the questions that we're actually asking the guys out there right now, that we're strictly asking this to the guys because you have to think about it. Usually, if you hear of the cosplay is not consent problem, it's usually more often it's the women saying it because they're usually the ones that are more harassed about it than the guys. I think that would be a fair statement to say, correct, everyone?
Yeah.
Amen. Even
Okay.
the bullying. There's one thing I don't like about cons, and that's bullying sometimes.
Right, exactly. Okay, right. Well, on that thought, one of the questions that we're currently asking guys on our Card Shark survey with relation to cosplay is, do you feel that there is a double standard between what is acceptable for girls to wear as cosplay and what's acceptable for guys to wear? And because it wouldn't surprise me if that just obviously there's certain ways a lot of female costumes are presented and stuff like that, whether it's of a female character or a feminization of a male character, that it just obviously some guys' brains being dopey guys' brains, they just their mind just
Their minds
immediately
wander.
takes them beyond reason, let's say. So that's what I see it at. Maybe that's just me. Does that make sense to any of you guys?
Yeah. I got a story about that. Back in 2002 with my first convention. I got a story about that.
How so? Go for it.
Well, my first convention, I was bullied. It's because of my special needs, though, because me and my wife are special needs. My first convention, I was only 15 at the time. It was just a long story. It's just so much stuff was going on at the time, But when I realized that I'm bigger than those bullies, that me and my wife are bigger, and allow me to use the Bible scripture. Can I use the Bible scripture on Brian?
Go ahead. It's
Matthew 5:16 says, "Let your light glow around people in such a way that seeing your good works to exalt your Father in heaven." It means without God, you are nothing. You can do anything and everything as long as you put your mind to it.
seems fair enough to me. I'll go with that.
Yep.
It is what it is. So I mean, hey, let's just make sure. Yeah, first and foremost rule. Yeah, just respect and love everybody that you run into at the conventions. Folks. Just no matter what else we say tonight, make sure that's the top part. Do that, and I guarantee you'll have the best time every time. And you'll probably make a bunch of friends that you never had before along the way too. So let's just establish that for everybody as rule number one. All right. Okay. But that being said, all right, let's get into let's try to put some things in proper order here. Okay. Let's start first in general with the actual setting up and getting to the convention. Now, for most, and probably the biggest thing that most people have to deal with, one of the biggest pressures, especially if you're going to a convention that's way out of town or whatever, getting a hotel. All right, now I'll ask this of each of you. In your past experiences in terms of getting a hotel, Scott, do you usually, if you get a hotel for an out there convention, are you usually in your own room, or do you group up with people?
I will book the room the day that they go up, so that way I get the best hotel and the best rates.
Right, which is always a good strategy, and usually that's something that's mostly only the bigger cons do that more often. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know Con does it. I'm sure New York Comic Con probably did stuff like that. I know Anime Next
Anime Next
Anime
does.
Next.
I've never known New York Comic Con to actually offer a hotel block.
Well, sometimes you got to talk with the hotel.
Well, no, that's the thing though, and they wouldn't offer like a discount rate. I mean, I'm looking at the site now. There are official hotels, but like,
yeah.
Which one is it for? Which one are you looking at?
I'm actually looking at the actual website.
And it pays to have these.
Put those down.
Well, no. Since we're talking about hotels, I'm gonna.
No, I don't want you to flash your numbers.
Oh, Jesus.
I'll cover it up. It pays to have these.
We get the idea.
The hotel cards. Because
Okay.
Can we kill the back noise, please?
Damn it.
I can't hear over the back noise.
Okay, we'll get back to you, Chuck. Hang on a second. All right. All right, but anyway, come back to what you were saying though, Scott. Trying to think. But you said, right. You said as much as you can help it. Like I said, yeah. If you know that the con works with hotels to get discount deals, obviously you want to get those. But again, coming back to my original question, do you personally usually book a room as with just you as the only occupant, or?
I will book it with me as the only occupant, and then I will go ask my friends like Paul or the people that I'm rooming with that I met from Katsucon 2 years ago.
Oh, you mean like So what years to go to Katsucon, Scott?
The year that our friend Antonio got majorly drunk. That's a whole nother story in itself.
Oh.
Yes, so obviously, no matter what's going on,
we're not starting that conversation, Scott.
Yeah, we're not. You were in my room. Yeah, you were in my room with that.
Right.
The year I went to Katsu was in 2002.
But because of that.
Yeah.
But because of that, I actually made friends with the people that were in his room. So those people are staying with me at the room for Otakon. So I will book when I book the room. I book the room for myself, and knowing that the room can hold, let's say, 4 or 5 people at the 5 at the max, 6 pushing it.
How much is it usually for one person?
Well, what I do is I take the rate of the room and then I divide it out evenly, so everyone has an equal share to pay for the room.
So, if I was going back to Otakon in Baltimore, if I was going to do that, how much would it be for one room?
Well, it depends on when you're going down and when you're checking in and when you're checking out, and everything. And that's why I strongly advise, if you're staying at like a Hilton property, or if you're staying at a Days Inn, sign up for their rewards card. You'll get points for the night for the amount of money that you spend for the room, and those points add up to free nights, which you can save and then use it to get a free night for that convention as well when you go to check in.
Now I will advise though, that is a challenge for some people to do, only because of from the respect that you to really get those points add up, you've got to be like a major traveler, and obviously money being a big concern for a lot of people, that's not as easy for people to do. It's still a smart thing to do, but obviously for some people it's gonna
like, for instance, like for instance, I'll take my. I'm not gonna flash the numbers here, but
Well, you
for
look it up. You can
yeah,
just-
I'm gonna hold up the. See now this card here, since I do play in Atlantic City. This
You
is
told
my
me you
reward.
won. Did you win craps in Atlantic City? You told me about that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that after the show.
Okay, sorry.
This is my player's card from any of the Caesars properties. So let's say if I'm going down for Anime Next, I get room as being part of the players club for the Caesars properties.
yes,
I get a discount.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
obviously,
get
we have to understand that gets into another aspect of being over 21 and things like that, which obviously
yeah.
everybody that's watching the show has that advantage, and we're not encouraging people to gamble either. Let's just
Nope.
keep it out there. All right, that's
Exactly.
if you want to do it that way, that's your decision. Hey, if you
But-
do, you know the deal. Bet with your head, not over it. So let's
Yeah.
just keep that.
Well,
Just put
yeah,
everything in
but-
proper perspective here. Okay, so just
another podcast in itself. I'll talk about that.
agreed. Exactly. Yeah. So let's not go there for right now. But no. But that's just how.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are probably some of our viewers out there in the AC and Vegas area that do that kind of thing. So that's entirely up to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I will admit
Right.
from my personal perspective as well, yeah, just in general with regards to whatsoever, yeah, because and obviously for me, the only time I ever had a roommate for a convention, whatever, was back in my Sonic Whammy Enterprises days, and even then in the beginning this organization 13 days, where I was going down to Otakon. I was there for 4 years in a row from 2009 through 2012, and in those cases, yeah, the idea of what Scott says is really true, because yeah, obviously knowing that the travel expense is probably the biggest part of any con budget. Anything that you can possibly do to be able to book a room with multiple people and carpool and whatever it is that you got to do to try to get down there on the cheap, and it works immensely, to your advantage. It can save you a ton and stuff like that. So yeah, so if
Yeah,
you
like I'm usually when I'm
3 or 4 people in it, so you could
Oh.
turn a $600 room, $150 a piece or whatever. That's or
Yeah. I will say this: my room for Otakon, 700 and something. I have I have 5 people staying in the room. Everyone chips in $151.
good. That's very good. That's
And
excellent.
what I do
Yeah.
is, if you, and this can go for anybody, if you have coins, round it up to the nearest dollar.
Oh, okay.
So if it's like,
Scott. Last time I went to Baltimore, I flew down there on I used Spirit Airlines. Make sure you get the cheapest airfare as well.
well, like for my case, since I'm going to Baltimore and since I'm going to Otakon, I'm taking the Acela train down. I had somebody that worked for the bus, and I haven't been able to get in contact with him. So he would normally get me on the bus for like cheap and everything.
But
But
it's easy for you guys.
But since I haven't been able to get in touch with him to notify him of the trip, I'm taking Amtrak down and coming back.
Gotcha. Yeah. Here, Paul, real quick, we haven't gotten you in on this piece of the conversation. Anything to add in general with what everybody else does with the hotel and stuff?
Book early, book often, even if you don't plan on getting in the room. If you're in one of those situations where you don't plan on getting in the room, make sure you know what the cancellation policy of the hotel is, so that you don't get stuck paying for a night deposit or whatever. If you can't get a yes or no on if you can go beforehand, cancel it the week before. Don't become one of those people that's stuck on like forums and Facebook and whatnot, trying to find a room with full of strangers. If you can't come to terms with vouching for the people that you're going to be letting sleep with you, or in your room or watching or in the room with your stuff, don't go. It's really weird.
And it's also important to stay hydrated too.
Okay,
Well, that's outside the room. That's on the comp floor.
Yeah, we're just
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring
Well,
up next because I
well, I wanna interject on that. My very first Otakon, when I went, I actually was invited from somebody I worked with, and they noticed I was an anime fan due to my keychain being Sailor Jupiter at the time, and I had Koga on this one here,
I guess y'all are even
so
now,
I
Daddy.
lost it. But and then what they did was they had 2 rooms, one for the guys, one for the girls, and everything. If you are going to do that and you are going to collect the money ahead of time, either negotiate whether to do PayPal, or if you're paying in cash at the hotel room up front at the hotel, you can do that as well. Or if they're paying you in advance for the room, make sure that you give that person a receipt saying that I have received such and such payment for the room and everything. Make sure that that person, even if they are afraid, give them a receipt to let them know, hey, yes, I have your money and everything, and it's put away for the hotel. Give them a receipt to let them know that that their payment of the room has been paid off.
the voice of personal experience, folks. And no, I won't say anymore. I'm leaving it at that. That is an inside thing between me and Scott. I'm not saying another word.
Well, no, I actually.
No.
Leave it.
Leave it alone.
Boys,
I was going to say that was something that my dad drilled into me when I did Otakon for a while myself,
fair enough.
and I had strangers in the room. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell-
Real quick before we go on to the next element of this, I'll even admit for myself that right now on all this hotel discussion, I am currently having the opposite problem. You guys all know about this, Saray, that for the past couple of weeks, I have been actually trying to. I have a room for Otakon next month or whatever, and the idea was me, Andrea, and the kids were going to go, but Joey's still a bit too rambunctious and things like that. That he's not gonna. It's not going to work. So we decided we're not going to go. Problem is, we got to sell the room off. And I've been asking around among friends and different things like that if anybody wants to take it off my hands. And I have yet to find anybody. I hate the idea of just doing a straight up cancel and then who knows who gets the room and stuff like that. I'd like to be able to find. I would have liked to have found a friend to to be able to to do it and bring 3 people with them so that they can split it down easy and get a decent rate and stuff like that.
Try posting it in the web boards for Otakon.
No, that's what I'm saying. No, I thought about that, but again, the problem is, like I said, I don't know.
You may have to do it that way.
Doing it with a friend because obviously I want to get them on the phone to an exchange and get the hotel on the phone a 3-way, and then just like try to get the transfer over like that.
What you do is in that kind of a situation, Brian, even though the hotel was already held under your credit card, you let that hotel know that, hey, so-and-so is checking in. You put them on the register for it and everything so that when they check in, they pay for the room and everything. Your credit card was just to hold the room and everything. Right.
No, I get what you're saying. Yeah, the challenge is just to make sure, like I said, I would have rather have done this with somebody that I know because I feel more safe in terms of making sure that I'm off the hook in terms of payment. A stranger, who knows? But all right, well, I'll figure something out. We'll get to bottom. Okay, all right. So, but that's obviously the biggest thing. Yeah. So do whatever you can to reduce the travel expense. That's obviously the biggest concern. With everybody and stuff like that. All right. Now, in terms of when you're actually there. Now, Chuck, you started to say this a second ago, and this is something that a few people today and trying to get some feedback on this before we started this podcast have been giving me today. The idea of you were talking about staying hydrated, correct?
That's right.
Yeah. In general, aside from the war in general, do you feel that personally there are any other like major like supplies that you make sure that if you're going to a con, especially abroad, well, not even if it's abroad, even if it's just a couple towns over, are there a couple things that you absolutely make sure that you've got on you at all times to to make sure that you're just fine in whatever respect?
It's always good to bring your own lunch. You barely can trust the con food in there, but it's always good to bring your own lunch.
Well, why do you say not to trust the con food?
Well, one time my wife got really, really sick off some of that stuff.
What happens?
My wife got really, really sick on the second day of the convention, and she couldn't continue the third day.
What did she have?
Some very bad chilium. What was it, baby? Chilium. It was very bad chilium cheese something. Chili cheese tots. That's what she had.
What town were you in?
It was here in Houston.
In Houston, and there's bad chili. Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's a bit of a contradiction there. I would never have expected that.
Yeah, the best thing, but it's always good to make sure you stay hydrated and drink lots of water.
Yeah.
Or Gatorade. Gatorade too.
Well, who knows? Well, that's personal preference, but any sort of hydration obviously is a big thing. Going back real quick. Yeah, that's something that Maureen again was she was saying that about too. She said that personally she makes she always personally she never has anything at the convention center. She said, never buy food at the convention center. More for the reason she said, and I agree with this because I wouldn't personally do either. No. Not because of like what Chuck said about the food relation, but obviously on site at the place where the convention is, the food is always like ridiculously expensive, probably like twice as much as you'd pay for anywhere else. So if you've really got to go out and get food, it's obviously then a very good idea to like get an idea of what restaurants are around the surrounding area. And I know especially with like Otakon, a lot of people will ask like, hey, what's a good place to eat around here? Because they know
also
they don't want to eat on site because they want to save money. They want to make sure that the food is good. So everybody tries to get suggestions from the locals long before they get there. And I totally agree with that idea.
And also check with the hotel's concierge, the concierge as well at the hotel. See what the hotel has to recommend for places to eat as well.
They're going to recommend an in-house hotel restaurant. Let's be for real.
No, that's if the hotel has an in-house. That's if the hotel has an in-house. But then
you're talking about something like not a Holiday Inn, but cheaper than that, like a Super 8 or something like that.
Or like a Days Inn or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, even I'm staying at the Hampton Inn down there at Otakon. First thing I'm going to ask after I check in is, where is there some places to eat? Because I remember in Baltimore we had that whole Riverwalk right there. The whole Riverwalk mall right there.
The whole Harbor Place. I loved that.
Yeah.
I loved that area. They just had the Chinese restaurant, everything, man.
And every time that my parents would come down, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You can hear you.
And every time the past couple of years when my parents came down, we went to Uno's. Last year we went to P.F. Chang's, I think it is.
Well, I had to sell for Johnny Rockets on the second day because I was really late getting to masquerade practice.
Hey, no problem. I love Johnny Rockets. They just opened up one here in by where I work down in Midtown.
Oh, okay.
We got a Whataburger here in Texas.
But going on about stuff that I bring for a convention, can't go wrong with the classic
Rape Ramu bottle. That says.
Yep. Well, I bought this from the Japanese supermarket.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, plus you gotta bring your Pocky. Every convention has to have their Pocky.
I still don't eat Pocky.
You don't eat Pocky at all?
I've been to 14 Anime Nexus, a couple of different two Otakons. A Gen-Con, I don't eat Pocky.
Dude,
Paul, this was from Anime Next.
One sec, Scott. Wait, quick question. Wait, obviously, okay, getting it on site, that's one thing. But wait, have you ever had Pocky just period?
Nope.
Never.
Dude,
Wow. Okay. That's
dude, you gotta have Pocky, seriously.
No, I really don't, because most of the flavors are like outright weird. It's like it went from all right, so here's chocolate, here's vanilla, here's strawberry, here's hot sauce flavor.
Green
Like,
tea.
Cookies and cream. Cherish loves cookies and cream. Cherish loves cookies and cream Pocky, and Almond Crush.
Green
And then
tea,
it only gets
Pocky.
worse.
well, you can't blame them, Paul, for trying to cater to all tastes.
I can't, but it's bad when that's like the only thing available inside the dealers room. It's like the dealers. It's like whenever the new flavor of the month Pocky comes out, the dealers like, nah, don't get the vanilla stuff. Get the exotic stuff.
The point, like
Paul.
Well,
Wait, Paul.
have you
This was from Anime Next.
Yeah,
I
and
still
that's
have-
on
I-
it.
huh?
I still have the Pocky left over from the green room.
Oh, an anime that came from Anime Next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what game shows did you guys do at Anime Next?
None. This, I've what at the. Am I allowed to say this, Paul, about what happened when we were getting ready to
No.
pack out? No.
No.
No, save it. We don't want to get anybody.
Well, I'll just say this. I bought two cases of Pocky.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, this is the cookies and cream I bought.
I get you.
Oh,
I bought
my wife loves cookies and cream Pocky.
I bought 2 cases on the last day of the convention. They were from the dealer's room. So that's
Oh,
what.
speaking of dealer's room,
And they're sitting up in my cabinet. I haven't taken them to work yet. As to
Yeah. All right. Okay.
speaking of dealer's room, you want to buy make sure you go on the last day. Buy stuff in the dealer's room, half off.
Well, no, I don't think every convention does that. I mean,
No.
I'm sure maybe some places might try to do deals, just for for the purpose of trying to get a little extra coin and stuff like that. Because obviously the last day is a little bit shorter, but don't necessarily expect that as a guarantee. Not everybody's going to do that.
Exactly.
no, like for instance, I bought Anime Next on the last day. I have 2 more high school DxD roll scrolls I need to hang.
How much were they?
All right. Well, here. Here, hold that thought, Scott. Because because we're drifting off topic here. Now
Sorry.
let me just ask this in general, because again, staying on the food category. Other than that, obviously, and I'm going to admit this personally for myself. I've found, and have you guys ever found this for yourselves, that have you ever had days at the when you've been to conventions, doesn't matter if they're local or far away, where you've honestly been so busy that you actually didn't really eat all that much in the first place during the course of the day?
That's never a good idea.
I'm not recommending it. I'm just saying that just by circumstance that you didn't.
Yeah, my first year teaming up with you, and I had to take the train all 3 days because I couldn't get a hotel room because I just got my cat.
Wait, three days?
Yeah, I took the first time I teamed up with you, back when you were Sonic Whammy. I took the train in all 3.
But that was a Castle Point convention. That was only a 1 day.
No, not Castle Point. Anime Next.
Okay, but we were only there the 1 day though.
I went all 3 days for the con.
Okay. Yeah, because we only had the 1 day that we.
Yeah, you only went the 1 day. I went all 3.
No, I get what you mean. So.
So yeah, I had like very limited money, so the only thing I took with me was just.
All right. Well,
water and granola ball.
Is the bigger thing. I mean, as long as you're keeping hydrated, that's obviously gonna be very important. That's regardless of the weather conditions. But let me ask this though: if obviously we're saying don't trust the food on site at the convention, but if you can't get out to the restaurants, if you have to really rough it in a sense and keep something just like on you, to make sure, to just make sure that if just that you have something to nosh on, just to keep yourself going energy wise or whatever. Like what kind of things have some of you taken up? Like Paul, what do you usually
granola?
What do you usually keep on you, Paul, to keep you going?
Or I'll just have the locations of whatever water bottles I can find near me and just go with that.
But I mean, like anything to munch on or whatever.
No, because what I always tend to do is, regardless of whatever convention I'm going to, I try to find the cheap, like, I know we just mentioned food and everything like that. I always try to find just any kind of convenience stores or any kind of 7-Elevens nearby, especially, there's a Wawa's nearby. I'm in there 24 hours a fucking day just eating bowls and shit.
Hey,
But,
language.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah.
Sorry.
I miss
But,
Wawa. I miss Wawa. I'm originally from Philadelphia, and I miss Wawa. I miss how convenient they were.
But
Well,
generally, it's just
Scott, when you come down to see me, you know the New Jersey Transit bus passes the Wawa on Essex Street.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I used to have a car and everything. I used to drive, not having to rely on public transportation.
Get it back.
I will say that. Well, no, insurance here in New York through the roof.
it depends.
I'm not.
Same here in Texas too. Same here in Texas as well.
I will say this. When I was in high school, we had a Wawa right by the high school. So when, like, if I skipped breakfast at home and I was driving to school at the time, I would stop off at the Wawa and get myself breakfast there. That Wawa was probably making more money from the students from the school than what it would do regularly. And then I heard recently that it closed up and everything.
That's a shame.
Well,
Yeah.
there was Royal Farms in Baltimore too.
What was that one?
There was Royal Farms in Baltimore too.
Yep,
Was
there was
that-
one right outside the Greyhound bus station. Last
Yeah.
time I went, at least.
I will say that. I just filled this with
Store?
What was that?
Royal Farms. It was where I used to grow up in Dundalk in Baltimore.
it's a convenience chain.
Oh, yes.
But here in Houston we got like Valero Corner Store. That's what we have here in Houston.
All right. Yeah. Well, yeah. Just making sure you always have access to something. Yeah. But I mean, like, yeah, it never hurts to just have something in your bag and jar when you first go down to the convention in the first place. I can actually remember when you, Scott, 2 years ago, Castle Point, when you did your first official Lost Silver show, but this was while I was still kind of in semi-exile, wherever the case is. I know I came to the con to support you, and yes, I know I recorded the show for you. But I remember that I was even lucky to even be at that convention, Joe, because I was actually going through some kind of weird stomach bug. I was trying to get over, and I was still kind of like on the fence when I went to that. I ended up surviving that convention. I didn't trust myself eating anything because I was worried I was gonna get sick again, throw it up. So I was pretty much surviving that entire convention, obviously plenty water, but I was nursing saltine crackers and these little like pastry crisp things that Special K was making some. I think they still make them or whatever. But I remember I was just like taking tiny munches of that all day long, just to give my stomach something, and without it fighting back at me, and just to make sure I could just keep my strength up the whole day. And thankfully it worked. Even Maureen was telling me earlier, she pretty much just keeps like a bag of Cheerios on her and stuff like that. But even she admits she gets so busy that like I do a bunch, that she hardly ever eats on site and stuff like that. The only thing I can suggest about that, folks, is if you're going to find yourself in that position, you really think you're going to be so busy, then you better have one hell of a big breakfast before you leave for the con. That's all I got to say. And it makes sure.
I recommend McDonald's big breakfast: pancakes, sausage, scrambled eggs, and a biscuit.
Not the big breakfast. No.
Something homemade, like me and my wife do them every year.
No. If you're staying at a hotel, like let's say for Embassy Suites, you can get. They have omelet. They have make your own omelets and everything.
Do have the continental or bigger breakfast. You're right, exactly. Obviously, if they do, take advantage.
And that is a plus when you're going back to the hotel room real quick.
Mm-hmm.
When you're searching for a hotel room, make sure you look for the ones that give you the free continental breakfast.
Yeah. I mean, if you can find them, obviously that's not going to be convenience you're going to find everywhere, but some do it, and obviously if you can, and the price still stays reasonable within your budget, obviously, yeah, that's a bonus. So you do whatever you can.
Recommended for hotels for that is Hampton Inn, Embassy Suites.
Marriott chains are good with that.
What about the Hyatt? What about the Hyatt?
Hyatt, no, they charge you. They actually make you pay for breakfast. You have to actually go to one of the restaurants in the hotel.
Okay. All right, that's good to know.
Yeah.
So definitely.
Because the Hyatt Regency down there in Baltimore never gave free continental breakfast. I always had to go to the Burger King for breakfast.
You know what I always cringed about whenever we dealt with a hotel that offered free breakfast was the fact that there would be more people inside the hotel than there would be rooms inside the hotel. Like, wait a minute, how are all of you guys here?
Well, that is because people cram like 6, 7, 8. Well, no, that is because at some conventions, Paul, people try to cram 6, 7, 8 people into a hotel room.
Yep, all in the name of trying to get a hotel room for $110. I'm already having a problem with that with DerpyCon. I'm already ready to tell people if I end up having to pay full price of my hotel room and I hear any of y'all complain, oh, you need a hotel room, I'm just going to turn blind and deaf to you all and just walk right on by.
Exactly.
What's DerpyCon?
Right.
DerpyCon's another convention in Morristown, New Jersey.
Morristown, New Jersey.
Believe it or not, it's not an MLP convention. That's not what it is.
I was just asking. That's all.
I heard that they're turning it into that, though.
Not really.
Jesus, take the wheel.
They're going to turn it into. They're going to turn it into a furry con.
No. There's already furry cons and fetish cons around New Jersey. I accidentally walked into one time. I was like, oh, okay. This is a thing. I'm going over here. I think that's my fault. I just say always need to get out of there.
Wait, anybody here a Police Academy fan?
Wait, what?
Is anybody here a Police Academy fan?
Yeah.
I'm suddenly having flashbacks to the Blue Oyster. El Bimbo. Da, 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 da.
Like it was bad. It was like I started asking myself so many questions. Like, wait a minute, why are the windows to this hotel taped up with garbage bags? Then I start seeing people get out their car. I'm like, wait, what's going on here and stuff? And when I got to the hotel was like trying to like get me out of there. I guess. And I was just like, oh, okay, well, I don't care. I'm going over here. And I started walking and stuff like that. And they're like, hey, you want to ride? Nah, I'm good. But you're stay there.
Oh, man, that's terrible. Oh, jeez.
Oh. Dude.
I think Paul wins the contest. Boom. Okay. So.
Oh, Jesus, take the wheel. Help me.
But no, like for me when I go, water, Gatorade, granola bars.
Yeah.
And knowing where the nearest and I will contest this as I live in New York City, and my friends have joked about this with me. They joke with me that I have Starbucks radar. I'm always able to find the Starbucks anywhere.
Oh, we got plenty of Starbucks here in Houston.
Yeah, you'll never have a problem with that. That's always true and things or whatever.
Especially in Seattle, though. Especially in Seattle, Washington.
I have a friend.
Real quick, guys. Yeah, because we're unsure on time here. Because I want to make sure we get a couple last things in. A couple of other things. A couple of other people have suggested to me. One in terms of things you should definitely always keep on you. I had one person over on the Otakon Facebook mentioned to me make sure you have your phone charger on you, always a key necessity and stuff like that.
If you can't actually get a phone charger, get one of those portable battery phone chargers. They also work too.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, have the backup drive or whatever. Yeah, but even that's only going to last so far. You still want to have a place to be able to.
Well, yeah. But make sure that they're fully charged as well too. So like when you go back to the hotel room, plug in your phone, plug in your external battery charger. That way you at least have both for the entire convention.
Right, exactly, and stuff like that. Yes, that's always true. Another member from our team, again, hoping to be here tonight, but she couldn't make it. She sends her regards. Tori Diker, who you're going to see very soon in one of our next game show Megamix videos. We'll talk about that real quick at the end. She also suggests, among other things, have some just in case, have your own set of emergency painkillers on you. Because especially if you're of a cosplay nature here, because you never know exactly what's going to take place at any given moment there that you might need something for, whatever. So just try to always do that for yourself in whatever capacity. Did we have somebody jump in for like 2 seconds a moment ago?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But then just backed out.
Hopefully we run into that person again, whatever the case is. So be that as it may. So obviously, whatever you think is going to be most necessary for you to be able to survive in that respect, or whatever the case is. And then on one other side note, because I mean, obviously we talked about the issues with cosplay, whatever. And in terms of when you interact with people, we mentioned all that at the beginning. Like I said, we mentioned the respect in all business. We should also mention, just in general, just to give some shout outs to some of the people we know in the voice acting world, that obviously goes for them too. You want to give them the respect too, because obviously if you're going to see them, you want they're there on your own. They're there of your own matter and stuff like that. But I mean, like, obviously, be kind to them, because they're taking their time out to see you guys and meet the fans. However, I will say this: one of our friends in the circuit, Amy Howard Wilson, she told me in general, in terms of do's and don'ts for meeting her and her husband Dave, she has only one basic rule: do. Because she said, Star Blazers fans rock, and I have never heard an inappropriate remark or anything like that. So don't ever hesitate to come up and chat. You've got that from her. I've got the proof right here on my messenger there. So that's you.
Thank you, Amy.
So what can we do that? But I mean, obviously, yeah. Just be nice to everybody that you see. It's just kind of thing. If something doesn't go your way, don't worry about it. There's so many things at the conventions, folks, that you had your goals as to what you're going to see. Don't drive yourself crazy. And if you need the sleep, get the sleep. Okay, it's not worth it to do 3 extra panels or go to the rave if you really need to crash over. Don't tax yourself like that, because that's going to kill you for the whole thing. How many people?
Or go to the game room even.
Well, regardless, because how many people that we hear of that ends up with con plague because they tax themselves too far.
One time back in 2003 for me.
Yeah, but I mean, sooner or later it happens to everybody, and I know that there's some people.
I will say this. I will say this on the subject, Brian. Like maybe like the day or two after I come back from the convention and everything, and I'm back to work and I'm back to my normal grind, I feel a little bit more tired and stuff when I come back.
Well, that
like
much is true. Yeah.
That was the same thing for me last year.
I look at it this way: like I'm coming down off of that adrenaline rush. Like if I'm going to an amusement park and everything.
Well, I have something to say about that. Last time after I came home from Otakon, last year I started having crying spells. So I knew it was the end of the road for me in Baltimore.
And I will say this to the ones that are 18, the ones that are 21 and over that are legal enough to drink. Drink responsibly.
If you
exactly.
should drink it all. Let's say that in general. If you should drink it all.
Yes.
There's plenty of places you could do and stuff like that. Maybe a good idea. Yeah. Keep it off the con scene, because save
it for like the last day or anything. Like
one might be too much, but that's that's your prerogative. Obviously, we leave it at that there. So anyway, hope we gave you guys some decent tips. Please, if you guys watching after the fact, if you want to supply your own opinions, whatever, leave a comment down in the video below, or leave it over on Facebook.com/Lost and Productions. Find us over there. Like this video, share it, subscribe. Please, let's bring everybody in on the fan base and stuff like that, And as says on the banner,
can I give a shout out, please? Can I do a shout out, please?
Real quick, who we send it to?
This one, it's more of an advertisement. If you're looking for a good ocarina at a great price, visit stlocarina.com or check out their booth at convention.
Gotcha. That always sounds like a good idea there. All right. And anyway, real quick, as the banner on our front page says, we've got new episodes of the game show Megamix coming all summer long. We actually just uploaded one today. We uploaded our Challengers episode from BurraCon from St. John's University on Memorial Day weekends. However, as it's been dubbed, as I promised you, this is the Kofi episode. Watch it, and you'll understand why we called it that. We beat Trump by about 3 days on this little gag. So go watch it after this if you haven't done so. Point and the rest of BurraCon coming up, and then next month we've got Liberty City. We'll be there on that weekend doing a whole bunch of games, and you'll see those come up on the channel during the fall. So hope you guys will do that. But go watch the Challengers after we sign off here in a few seconds and enjoy it. And
it is a great game show.
To keep the subscribers and the view counts going. So for now, we're going to close it out here. We'll see you guys in 4 weeks. We're probably going to do the next one on Tuesday or Wednesday as well. Because the next time in 4 weeks will be Otakon week, so we're probably going to do that one early too, just to give people a chance to travel. We'll get.
Brian, you know what? I can do it right from my hotel room.
No, because nobody's going to watch. All right, but anyway, we got to get out of here. We'll talk about the topic later. Keep an eye on the banner. So for Scott, Paul, good to have you back. Chuck, his troubles and all, we love having you with us. My name is Brian Sapinski. Thank you guys for joining us for Convention Attention. We'll see you guys soon. Take care.